Have you ever tried something and it didn't go right the first time? And more importantly, have you ever tried something and it went so bad that you didn't want to do it again? Hi everyone, welcome to Two Coaches. Today we're going to talk about a fun topic that's just something I'm really passionate about. I wrote an article on it and gave worksheets and stuff because it's actually really important to our everyday life, your everyday life, and it's something we all do every day without really even knowing it. And that's trial and error. Have you ever tried something and it didn't go right the first time? And more importantly, have you ever tried something and it went so bad that you didn't want to do it again? Maybe that was running a meeting one time at work and you came prepared, but you biffed it in front of everyone and you said something stupid and you kind of got that weird look from everyone and then it just destroyed all hopes of you wanting to run a meeting again. Or maybe it was the first time you tried approaching someone at a bar and striking a conversation. For my fellow guys out there that have tried this and it went horribly wrong and she said, "I have a boyfriend, get out of my face," and you're like, it was embarrassing. It's those moments that tear us down because we tried something and didn't go well and we don't want to do them again sometimes. And we're going to talk to you about that today and some strategies to help you move forward, because when it comes to trial and error, there's a missing word, and that's application. Nobody really tells you about the application process in that system. We try things, we make mistakes, and we try them again. But if we're just making mistakes and trying things over and over and over, we're kind of in an endless loop. It's just the definition of insanity.
Right, the definition of insanity being doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result.
Exactly.
If you keep approaching a girl at the bar in the exact same way and you keep getting turned down, well, maybe it's time to try a new strategy rather than expecting them to suddenly change their mind and say yes.
And it's, maybe it is a numbers game. Maybe if you tried 1,000 times, it might work once. But let's shortcut that process a little bit for you, because there's a lot of things in life that we can learn with just a little bit of application. And that's just applying from the lessons you learn. So I'm going to ask Mackenzie here, who's one of the world's youngest certified high performance coaches, who helps people with this every single day. What are some examples of things that you try them and you fail at and something you can learn from that? What's a good example and how can you help these people?
So I know some of you guys are going to be college students, or you are college students right now, or even if you aren't, you've been a college student. So I think you'll be able to relate to this. As someone who's currently in college, the entirety of your time in college is a trial and error fiasco. Because you have an assignment due, and you're going to have maybe several essays due throughout the course of a single semester. And so you try something for the first one, and it does not work. You don't get the grade you wanted, it just doesn't come out quite right, and you aren't happy with some aspect of it. That in and of itself is trial and error. And then going into the next one knowing, all right, I tried these things. Maybe doing some of those things differently because that didn't result in what I wanted as my end result. So college, I think, would be a huge one to keep in mind. My recommendation for any of you who are currently in college right now, keeping track of the ways you've done things. So if you've created a certain system for doing homework that hasn't worked very well for you in the past, whether that was high school or college last year or last semester, learn from those things. Apply the things that you've learned. And I actually recommend having a list. Literally, write a list of the things you've tried. Because then that way, if you tell someone, hey, I've tried everything, they can actually look at what you've tried and recommend different things for you.
As a little note, that's one of our favorite things as coaches is if someone says, "Oh, I've tried everything, I just can't lose weight, my body doesn't do it." No, the science hasn't gone out the window for you. It is possible to lose weight. In reality, we just need to figure out what works for you. Okay, you tried a bunch of Zumba classes, didn't work, cool, let's try something different. And having a list of things that you have tried allows someone else to come in and give you new ideas. And then as coaches, that's what we do. If you were to hire a physical trainer and you have a list of, hey, I've tried these 10 things, none of them work, they go, okay, well, let's tweak this one and try this a few more days a week, and they can make little changes in order to make it more effective for you.
Right, because it is really helpful knowing what you've tried before. It's the same as going to a restaurant, knowing that something you ordered last time you just didn't like, but then accidentally ordering the exact same thing because you don't remember what it was. That's why we tell whoever we go to dinner with, hey, remind me, don't get that thing again because I hated it. Then you don't end up repeating the same mistake. From something as simple as ordering something you don't like at a restaurant to maybe getting a better grade in college because you remember, I tried this, it didn't work, let me apply something new this time. It also allows you to get new and different ideas and not simply keep repeating the same mistakes. It allows room for improvement, it allows room for getting better, and I think if you're watching these videos, I think that's something that's really important to you. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I happen to know that for me, if I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing and I've stagnated in my progress, that's really frustrating. So keeping a list of all the things you've tried, whether it's what you're trying to do to get to work on time, to get that project turned in on time, no matter what it is, writing down a list of, okay, I tried this was my system last time, maybe I should try something different this time because I want a different result.
And for me and my perspective, I generally work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and one of the biggest things I work with entrepreneurs is sales and marketing, because those are the two biggest trial and error things for anyone in any market. The things that you have to say and do are different, right? So if I'm trying to sell cars, I wouldn't use the same tactics I would use selling roses, okay?
Right.
People that care about cars care about different things with roses. So if I'm helping someone with their marketing or helping someone with their sales process, it's a trial and error process to figure out what their customers care about and what they want, and listening and feedback in order to figure that out. So it's, okay, this week or this month, try this marketing campaign. And if that doesn't work, you're not getting the results, let's make little tweaks here and there until it works. And that's one of the hardest ones, because if you've ever, this might not be super well-known knowledge, but for most entrepreneurs, when they start a marketing campaign and they spend $1,000 on advertising, you know, they're spending their money on it. And they put these ads out and nobody calls them back. And after a month of that, it's just heart-wrenching. As an entrepreneur, like, I failed. I can't ever be an entrepreneur again because I couldn't get anyone to buy my product.
Right.
In reality, you just needed a few tweaks here and there to make it work right for you. And the trick is getting over that hurdle of failure, applying the lessons learned. Okay, I got a little bit of feedback from people. They didn't like this, or they didn't, care for this part of the market. Yeah. Okay, now I got to make a little change and try again.
And I think there's a quote that goes along really well with that, which is, someone once asked Thomas Edison, how did you get past the fact that you failed so many times to create the light bulb? He failed 10,000 times before he actually created the light bulb. And his response to them was, I didn't fail. I simply found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. And that's that difference of switching your perspective from I'm failing, to I'm learning something new. This doesn't work for me. This doesn't work. But if I take this and I apply this piece of the thing that didn't work, and maybe this piece that did work, if I take out the one piece and then put together pieces of things that did work, that's how you actually get a finished product. That's how you come up with a system that works for you, no matter what you apply that to, whether it's losing weight, whether it's your health, your diet, college, work. Taking and learning from the things and applying them is going to be a huge game changer in your life. I think a big area where I see people forget to apply things from past mistakes is relationships. It's something we all have to deal with, whether it's your friends or your family, your significant other. No matter what the relationships in your life look like, we all have them. And we all go through phases where people come into our life and we lose people from our life. And it happens both ways. But I know I did this for a long time. I didn't apply the things that I'd learned. I would repeat the same mistakes again and again and then go, why isn't this working? Well, because maybe it's not the other person. Maybe it's the thing that I keep doing. And I think it's really important, particularly in relationships, take the time to reflect, because I think that's a big part of trial and error, rather than saying, oh, this didn't work, throw it out. No. Don't just throw it out. Look at it. Allow yourself to step back from your pride for a moment and go, okay, I tried this thing, and that relationship didn't work out, or I'm fighting with my significant other still, and we keep having the same argument. So don't just say, I don't want to even think about it, I don't want to deal with it, and get rid of it. Look at it and go, okay, why? Why does this keep coming up? Why is this a consistent thing? Why have I argued with my past 3 significant others about the exact same damn thing? Like, it's important to understand that things will come up in your life. I have training, you have training of things that are sensitive for us. And in relationships, those sensitive areas, we need to be able to be honest with ourselves about them so that we can apply them to the new relationships in our life, to the old ones, to mend fences, rather than being stuck in that same repetitive loop, because that can get really frustrating. So I would ask you to consider looking at your relationships and some things that are frustrating to you, because we all have things that are frustrating in our relationships, and it's really easy to get angry at the other person or put it on them or just get really down on ourselves about it, but not look at it. So I would challenge you, take the idea of trial and error and apply it to your relationships, but look at the trial, because you can't apply it until you take an honest look at it. You have to do the same thing in science. Applying the scientific method means looking at, this was my hypothesis, I tried this, I did this experiment, it didn't work. Why? So asking yourself that key question of why is, I think, the biggest, most useful thing about trial, error, and application. Because without the why between trial and application, you don't actually get a better trial next time.
So if you're looking for a way to improve when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your job, when it comes to your college education, whatever it may be you're trying to improve at right now, if you've tried things in the past, take a serious look at them and just ask yourself, what went right? What went wrong? What was the lesson learned? And what can I do better next time? And keep a detailed list for yourself, because those lessons, they're transferable. If you know, for example, that if I try to focus on something for more than 20 minutes at a time, and if I try to go beyond that, I lose focus. Okay, break your time blocks in 20 minutes for everything. You know, if I
don't just apply it to the one part of your life and then keep getting frustrated everywhere else. Apply it.
If you can't, focus on writing for more than 20 minutes, don't try to focus on the next project or doing your taxes for more than 20 minutes. If you know that you've got a 20-minute window of focus before you got to stand up and do a lap, great. Those lessons learned teach you something new about yourself, because it is different for everyone. Just like in, for example, marketing, I can't tell you what works exactly for your market every single time because we haven't done the trial process.
Right.
Same goes for your life. If there's something that works for one person, it's different for the other. So I can't tell you exactly what you need to do to make things work in your life, but I can give you a process to help you figure it out for yourself and shortcut that to apply it to your life. I wrote a little bit of an article on this. I gave a worksheet for it, but it's simple. Trial and error is something we do every single day. Even in cooking, if you bake a cake and it came out wrong, maybe it's 5 minutes less in the oven. Right. Boom, mental note made, 5 minutes less. We do this every single day with everything we do. If you're late to work, you try a new route, you know not to try that route. And it's
even the little things, yeah.
It's a constant process that we subconsciously go through. But when it comes to the big things in life, we need to make it conscious. That way we can actually drive change in ourselves. And that's what I want to encourage you to, is to apply those lessons and to look for those lessons to make sure that the process of learning and mastery is faster for you.
Yeah, I would absolutely 100% agree with that. It matters a lot, and it makes such a monumental difference in your everyday life. So.
Trial, error, and application. Always be learning, always be growing. Keep your mindset strong. You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. That you really can.
Two Coaches out.